Okay, let's try something different.
Welcome back to JBrosGaming. I'm Dave, and today we're going to be doing the very first Q&A for the channel. So before I get started with questions, I figured I wanted to take this time to really thank all of you, because it really means a lot to me that we have now broken 10,000 and even up to 11,000 subscribers now. I remember back when the channel started out with only 1 subscriber, and that's only been a couple years ago. So I just can't believe that we've gotten this far, and as a group and everything like that, and it just really means a lot to me. I don't know that I would have continued to make videos if it wasn't for all of your support and words of encouragement and things like that, so I really can't thank you all enough. Every single one of you mean the world to me. And I'm glad that you all enjoy the content that I put together for all of you, whether it be a video or a tutorial or a build or whatever. It just makes me so happy, and I appreciate all of your support. Remember that if you haven't checked it out yet, you should definitely go check out the Twitter and Instagram pages for the channel. We've made both, and they're both just called JBrosGaming, so you can look them up that way. Pretty easy, so definitely go take a peek. And with that, let's go ahead and get into some questions. Alright, so our first question comes from Gabriel, and he wants to know, what is the first game that I ever played? And the answer to that is Duck Hunt back on the original Nintendo. I remember utilizing that gun-shaped controller and really trying to kill those ducks. And I would get so competitive at it that I would honestly hold the gun right up against the television screen just to make sure I got him, because I really didn't want that stupid dog laughing at me, because I really hated him, and I didn't want to look at him laughing at me. Our next question comes from Jamel, and he wants to know when I first started gaming and what game did I fall in love with. So I started gaming back when I was like 5 or 6 years old. My mom would play the original Nintendo and I would watch, and so I started playing. And really, my favorite game, I have had tons of favorite games. It was really hard for me to compile a list, but here are some of the games that I enjoyed. I really liked GoldenEye 007 on Nintendo 64, the original Halo on Xbox, and all the Halos for that matter, God of War, all of them, the Fallout series, I've been a huge fan, Elder Scrolls as well, which I don't have here, and obviously you can't forget Minecraft. So, I had some questions that were similar, and I really tried to compile them, but obviously some of the subscribers asked a couple questions, and I wanted to include those as well. So, Michael asked who's Nick Jones, and what he did for the channel, because he's discussed in the description section for the channel. And then both Michael and Gergensen wanted to know kind of what motivated me to start YouTube. So, to start out with, who's Nick Jones? He's actually my brother. And he and I originally started out making the original videos for the channel. If you go back and watch some of the very first videos that were made on the channel, you can see and hear his voice and things like that. It was just a Let's Play series that we did on Minecraft. And like I said, he was in a lot of the original videos for the channel. Some of them I deleted because they were just stupid, but I've kept like the first few of those videos. So if you want, you can go check them out. They're really bad compared to the new ones. But yeah, in terms of what motivated me, really, I just got motivated because I watched YouTube, and I'd look back at my time of watching, PewDiePie and Toby Games and Markiplier and KSI, and I saw what a fun time they were having making videos and how much they enjoyed it, and how much they enjoyed interacting with the subscribers and just everything like that. And I thought that would just be awesome to be able to produce content and have people enjoy talking to you, and you have a good time talking to them, and it just seemed awesome. And YouTube is a very collaborative environment. It's fun to work with other YouTubers. It's fun to interact with subscribers, whether you just go play a game with them or you go check out their map, and just things like that. And I've made a lot of really great friends just from doing YouTube, and it's just been an awesome experience. So there's really a few motivations to why I have done it, and that's basically it in a nutshell. So now for our next question. It comes from Cool Lion Cat, and he wants to know if I play on Xbox 360. And the answer to that question is no, I do not play on Xbox 360 anymore. I used to, that's what the original videos were on, but now I am on Xbox One only. And sadly I can't check out you and your brother's map, but I would love to. If you ever move to Xbox One, let me know. Alright, so our next question comes from the Explosive Gaming, and he wants to know what screen recorder I use. The answer to that question is the Elgato Game Capture HD. In my opinion, it's one of the best. And if you're planning on starting a channel, definitely invest in one of these because they're very intuitive, very easy to use, and they make great videos. Next up, Harrison wants to know how long it takes me to plan a pixel art build. And really, that's kind of a tough question just because it really depends upon the build and what I'm going to be making. You know, if it's a complex build, it's going to take longer. If it's an easy build, it's obviously shorter. But typically it takes about 2 to 4 hours, and that's from, you know, picking the image on Google to actually producing a video. And the reason it takes that long is because I go into Google, I select an image of what I'm going to build, I then start doing an original build where I'm free building it, changing up blocks, getting it to look the way that I want it to, and then I take a picture of that and start building a second copy of it. And that's the reason sometimes you might notice that I pause or there's a transition or things of that nature, and that's just because I'm trying to make sure that I continue on from where I stopped. And obviously during that second build is when I record. Alright, so this is a bunch of questions here. I really want to start out with the differences first. So Edible YouTuber wanted to know what the trickiest build I've put together is. Finley wanted to know what my gamer tag is. And then Edible YouTuber, Finley, Denise, and Gage all basically wanted to know what my favorite build is, and more specifically what my favorite Star Wars pixel art that I've put together has been up to this point. So in terms of the trickiest build that I've put together, it would probably be the most recent pixel art build that I've thrown together of the Punisher. And the reason that this one was really tricky was that most of his clothes are black, and so it was pretty difficult trying to make it look like there's differences in the clothing using the dark gray and the black wool. So that was really tough. And then also putting together that sawed-off shotgun there in his left hand, and that's just because I haven't ever built one of those in Minecraft. In terms of my gamer tag, it's Achilles187 and I play on Xbox One. And then my favorite build up to this point would be Boba Fett. And the reason that is that Boba Fett is by far one of my favorite characters in any medium, you know, comic books, video games, things of that nature. He's one of my favorites. But I've had a lot of favorite builds recently. I really like the Deadpool and Deathstroke build. I think the Rey build from Star Wars The Force Awakens came together great. The Darth Vader's awesome. Some of the Batman builds. Now, Sky My Knight and Drakon Gaming and more had kind of the same question. Basically, am I planning on doing anything different than just pixel art in Minecraft? And if you've been watching recently, I have started to do some different things in Minecraft. I've obviously thrown together a statue of Darth Vader recently. I think it came together very nicely, and I'm planning on trying to continue building some statues. I haven't kind of figured out yet whether I'm going to do one a week, or, you know, one pixel art, one statue a week, or maybe I'll split it up. I haven't come to a consensus on what I want to do with that yet. Also, I kind of want to throw together a subscriber world where we build like a city or something, so stay tuned for that. The next question comes from Matt, and he wants to know what other games I play right now other than Minecraft. And, you know, I just enjoy video games in general. So I play basically whatever is out at that time and what's, you know, a great game and whatever I enjoy. So, you know, recently I've played Tomb Raider, I've played Call of Duty Black Ops 3, I play a lot of Fallout 4. I just finished the DLC like right when it came out. So, you know, I really enjoy video games, and I enjoy playing as much of them as I can, as much as my time affords. So the next question comes from Customized Genius and Luke Dotson, and they both want to know if I plan on playing any other games on the channel or doing some Let's Plays. And if you go back in the past, you can see that I have done some other things besides just Minecraft pixel art. You know, I've only been doing pixel art for about 1.5 to 2 years, and the channel's been active for 3 years. So I have done some things in the past. You can definitely go check them out. I would love to start doing some of that again, playing some other games besides just Minecraft. whether it be going back and doing some funny videos on GTA, you know, maybe playing some Fallout 4, doing some funny videos on it. You know, I really enjoyed putting together those commercials that I've done in the past. If you haven't had a chance, go check out my funny videos playlist, because I think there's some pretty good stuff in there, and I think you might like some of it. I want to hear from you all, though, if you think I should play some other things, because that's really what's most important to me. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some other games or things of that nature. The next question, which is more of a request, comes from Epic Scorpions, and it says, do the dab. And nice try, because I know what you were trying to do. You were trying to get me to do a face reveal, because you had that question before. And I really don't want to make a fool of myself, so I'm not going to do the dab. Next question comes from Riv Dav. What state do I live in? And the answer to that is I live in the state of Utah. Next question comes from Prowling Panther. And do I want to have kids? So yes, my wife and I both would like to have some kids. We would like to have a boy and a girl if possible, if everything works out the way we want. But this is by no means how we look. Next up, Echo would like to know if I can solve a Rubik's Cube. And the answer to that is absolutely not. If I were to try to solve a Rubik's Cube, it would look very much like the Rubik's Cube on the right, and I would get frustrated and basically try to break it. Next up, we have a question from Chandler asking who my favorite football team is and where the kind of Q&A announcement video took place. So in terms of a favorite football team, I really don't have one because I play fantasy football, and that kind of ruins having a favorite football team. You're more of a fan of players, but I'd probably pick my university team if I were to say one. In terms of where the announcement video for the Q&A took place, it was on the Big Island of Hawaii. I was on my honeymoon with my wife after we got married. Next up, we have a question from Jackson asking if I'll be doing any more real-life videos. And that's definitely something that I would consider. It's a lot like, you know, doing other video games, doing some Let's Play series, things of that nature. You know, if you want to see it, I'm more than willing to do it. I have the equipment to take care of it. I can use either my, phone, utilizing the camera on it, or I can utilize a GoPro like I did on that ziplining video. So it's really up to you all. I'd like to know what your opinions are in the comments, because you're what's most important to me, and I want to know your opinion on it. So just let me know in the comments. And for the final question, it comes from Yoshi. What do I plan on doing for my next sub mark? And really, again, I've said this over and over again, I really want to hear from you all in the comments what I should do. Because, there's a lot of things we could do. We could do a face reveal, we could do another Q&A, tons of different things could be done. So I want to know your opinion. Just let me know in the comments, because I want to do what you all want to see. I'm always down for listening to what you all have to say. I try my best to comment back on everything that you all comment to me. So just let me know in the comments, because I'll take it, under advisement, and I'll try to put together whatever you want to see. So just let me know. And so that concludes the Q&A, the very first one that we've done on the channel. If I didn't get a chance to answer your question, I'm sorry. I saw that there were a few that were posted very recently, and I didn't get a chance to add them. But definitely keep the question that you had and ask it in the next announcement that I have to do another Q&A, because we'll definitely do another one. So either keep it or ask a new one, whichever. I'll announce when we're going to do the next Q&A. Again, thank you all so much for your support. I can't believe that we hit 11,000 subs. It is a huge deal to me, and I really appreciate all of you, and you mean the world to me, and I mean that. So with that, it's been a pleasure. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, take care.